What was your first impression of me?
For real?
Yeah, you were like 11 years old when I was born. So
I
when
was
you saw
actually
me,
9.5.
9.5. Yeah, well, you know.
You were you were way wider than I expected. What did you ambition when you first decided to become a filmmaker? Like what were your what did you picture it to be like?
I wanted to be a comedian. I always thought I was gonna be a comedian, but that's why I first started making videos, doing comedy. But then that's when I realized that I just want to be a funny guy. I didn't really want to be a comedian. But I've always made little videos. I remember that my first video that I ever made, whenever I try to make a video, I didn't even think of the video. I was just thinking of the jokes. I was thinking this is a good way for me to deliver my jokes for people that I don't even know. I had no interest in filmmaking or nothing like that.
So basically that's how you pictured it, just like
Yeah, I thought I was just gonna be a comedian on camera. What is the most frustrating aspect when it comes to graphic design?
dealing with clients that have no idea how graphic design work, and they just tell you, why can't you just copy and paste it?
Like someone else's work. They send you something like a reference and they're like, just copy and paste that.
Sometimes they send you things like you ask for a logo and they send you a Word document with a tiny logo on it, and they're just like, just copy and paste it, but then they want a billboard with their logo, and they send it to you at 2 inches, and they like, just copy and paste it. They don't understand how it works, and I guess they don't get it that you pay a professional because you don't know how it works. So now that you are into the filmmaking industry, how far into your goals do you think you are at this point?
I used to have like specific goals, and that was the frustrating part to me. But now I'm just taking whatever opportunity comes that I want to take. I don't have to take everything that comes. Just that's like I'm free of stress, free of like everything. I don't have to work with people that I don't want to work with. All I do is like whatever opportunity comes, I take that one and go on and on and on. I don't necessarily have like a goal. Like I don't have that in my head. I'm not like, oh, my next video should be with Bad Bunny. None of that. Like if the opportunity comes to shoot with Bad Bunny one day, I'll take it. But it's not that I have like, oh, my goal is Bad Bunny. For whenever if I don't shoot with Bad Bunny, I'm gonna kill myself. No, none of that.
Okay.
What do you wish was different in your industry?
The pay.
The pay.
Yeah, I went into the industry thinking that I was gonna make a lot more money, and it's just not realistic. Just because there is a lot of, and I was told this when I was in college, there's a lot of starving artists out there, and because of that, it's kind of easy to find somebody who kind of knows their way around graphic design to do something really cheap for you, and then because of that, it's harder for people to pay an artist like me who has more experience what they're actually worth, because they're just gonna go with cheaper
Yeah, that happens a lot in my industry too. So what we do is whenever you hire someone that is below you, you make them sign an NDA saying that they're not gonna go off and take your clients and do cheaper, shittier work.
What has been the most fun experience that you can think of you've had in your industry?
In DR, I was working with this artist. He also made me sign an NDA, not to even like say his name, because like we go out to the clubs and they make you sign an NDA. It's like, hey, like I'm about to go cheat on my wife at the club. Sign an NDA saying that you're not gonna say nothing here, that you never saw me there.
Okay.
So basically, we were shooting his video, and the main goal was to go to the club after we're done with the video. So like it was basically a contract to go have fun.
Okay.
The video was not like wasn't it really,
I would totally get paid for that.
wasn't really part of the equation. We had all these women with us that we were not even speaking to. They were paid to make us look good. They were kind of like standing there like mannequins, drinking a little bit, but not that much because that's their job. They do that 5 times a week. Why did you choose this career instead of becoming a painter like everybody thought you were gonna be?
I've always known since I was in high school, it was very difficult to make money as an artist. And, I was very interested in all the artists, painters, biographies, how their lives went. And I learned very early that their paintings only became valuable for most of them after they died. Most of them never made money from painting. But most painters and, just fine artists, just struggle financially, and I needed to have a career that I could make money with. What is the most surprising or disappointing fact you've learned about your industry?
I've said it 3 times already on the show. People bragging about things that haven't happened. But for example, I've tried to do business with some people, even recently, and basically they want me to work for them for free because when I blow up, you're gonna wish you did this, bro. When I blow, and I'm like, but you haven't blown up yet. Like, why were we bragging about something that hasn't happened?
When I first graduated college, I had a lot of people that would be like, "Hey, do this for exposure," and I'm like, "I'm a graphic designer. My signature doesn't go on the work. What is this exposure?"
Yeah, exactly. What is your advice to people that want to get started in graphic design?
School is not going to teach you how to be a designer and how to have ideas. It's also not going to teach you the techniques that you need to know in order to be an efficient designer and not waste most of your life just trying to figure out how to do things. So you gotta spend a lot of your own time doing research and just like, looking at tutorials, following people that know how to do it, just finding every day you gotta like learn something new.
Yeah, just like we were talking about free work in the last question. Uh, they should maybe if they promoted it as do some free work so you can get experience, not exposure.
Yeah.
Because like exposure means like that you're great and you want to show it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done a lot of free work for the experience. Like there's a lot of lighting techniques that I've learned from looking at other people that they take me to their sets and I do like a whole behind the scenes day for free. But nah, I don't do that necessarily for exposure. Like, hey, let me show you how good I am behind the scenes.
If I do something for experience, my client is still getting a finished product from me.
Yeah, because
like I'm not just showing up for the experience. They're still getting their product.
Yeah.
So for me to spend whatever research time I spent or whatever I did, it still shouldn't be free because it's still like they're still getting their product. What's something you learned about filmmaking recently that you think you probably should have known for a long time? Something that you were like, wow, I just learned this.
Because let me tell you this, if I like did my math in the beginning of it, I would have never gotten into it. I'd be like, okay, it's not worth it. Like, I'm not about to do 5 years of unpaid work. I'm not about to like work with those drug addicts and all this stuff. Yeah,
I
if
want
I
to
would
take a
have,
break completely, just like
nah, if I would have like learned about the business first, I wouldn't have been into it. So, but I guess that's not something that I wish I knew before. But I like if I would have known it, I think I would have gotten into it.
known.
What piece of work are you most proud of?
In 2021, I believe it was a project that came to the company I work for, and this lady, she had like a vision for her retail store that she was opening up, and it's a donut shop. But she wanted to make it so that like you walk in there and you want to just like go to every corner of the store and take pictures, and like it's like a sensory overload, and like everything looks amazing and you want to take pictures
It's like
next to
it's kind of
everything.
made for the TikTok era that we're living in right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
so totally that. And I was given the job of designing every section of this place, and it started from sketching to directing 3D sculpture makers, to like creating every piece the way that I wanted it to look and the way that the client and I kind of envisioned things. And the store is now open and it looks amazing. That project used a lot of my illustrating capabilities, and I didn't think that I would be able to do that a lot with graphic design because it doesn't really come to that most of the time. Let's say like you're working on a music video, and I know like that's probably one of the things that you want to focus on. So describe that feeling when you're actually producing your own work.
So my first time that I actually enjoyed working on set was when I started working with a model that actually knew what she was doing, and a producer that knew what he was doing, and an artist that actually knew his lyrics.
Okay.
And so yeah, so when you work with people that know what they're doing, when
You would think.
when everything becomes actually, I come from sports, so I see like filmmaking as a sport. It's a team sport, it's not a one-man band type of thing. So when I saw it like that everyone knew what they were doing and they were doing it like perfectly, that's when I actually like enjoyed myself a lot. What do you think makes you good or unique as a graphic designer?
If anything does make me good, it's probably that when I'm working on something, I invest as much time and dedication as possible into making sure that I understand what my client wants to see and that I make things fun. Like, I never put out things that are like boring. When you're working with other producers and filmmakers, how do you feel during the process? Like, do you feel like you want to add your grain of salt kind of thing? Like, you feel like you want to help the concept of what they're doing, or do you usually just like go with their flow?
So basically, the director and the cinematographer, which would be me, we always work together on everything. We're the ones that put everything together. We're the ones that run everything. But whether I like it or not, we're doing that. The director's idea, their project. I have to let them do what they want to do, and sometimes no one agrees with it. But that's we all trying to work on that person's vision. So when everything becomes toxic on set is when we don't want to listen to the director. There's a lot of people on drugs on set, and as soon as they get on drugs, they wanna switch everything up.
Oh, wow.
They start getting all these ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, so what if I like jump off the roof?
What
right
if it's
now?
all
And,
floating?
Exactly. And I'm like, no, it's not about to float right now. What's something you wish you could do more of in the graphic design field?
Illustrations.
Illustration.
I really enjoy doing illustrations, but they're very time consuming. And in the graphic design field, most things are billed hourly, which means that, client, if you charge somebody like 50, 75, $100 an hour, they want things to be done in a few hours. You can't really, most of the time, you can't justify for charging somebody like 5 or 6 hours of work on something unless it's like a really big job. So most of the time, you don't have the time to do your own illustrations, and you have to kind of go into just like stock illustrations and photography and stuff like that. So when I first went into it, I thought I was gonna be doing a lot more photography and a lot more like doing my own illustrations, and I'm not. Have you ever met your hero? And if you did, describe that experience.
He was just very rude to me.
They just say never meet your heroes.
No, but he was so unnecessarily rude to me. For example, he was looking at me as a nobody, like I was, and so therefore he was talking to me as a nobody. Whenever I would ask him anything. For example, there was one time that we worked about 15 hours instead of 8 at the place that we were, right? And I asked him, "Hey, are you tired from last night?" And he goes, "How old are you?" And I go, "I'm 19." And he goes. And then the whole day after that, he didn't whenever I used to talk to him, he wouldn't even acknowledge me or anything like that.
Well, that's very rude.
He wouldn't acknowledge. Even when I said bye, at the end of the day, he didn't
Just
say
like, no.
bye like that. And then whenever he had to talk to me, he would say something really, really rude.
Wow.
But then this is one of the guys that's on Instagram, "Hey guys, so remember to give everyone a smile today," and
Never meet your heroes.
So that's that. And then another time, which was very recently, I met El Lápiz Consciente,
Uh-huh.
I wasn't disappointed from that or anything like that, but I guess I was surprised in the way that he was so nice. And that's not his character online. His character
so
is
I guess
not
expect
nice.
The opposite. Whatever you think
his
your
character is not nice at all.
That's hilarious.
If you could start from zero, what would you do differently?
I would have became a nurse.
I would have tried to be a baseball player too. This is not for me.
I just feel like there's so much uncertainty in being an artist and being a designer. It's just you never know how something's going to go.
You don't know anything, yeah.
And it's just sometimes you just trying to read people's minds. And there are people that get frustrated if you don't read it well, as if you somehow were supposed to be able to read their mind.
So you have no idea what it's like to be a man then. I do that every day before bed. Wow.
Well, I guess I have some idea what it's like since I have to do it every day. So I guess I do have a little bit of a hint.
Anytime that I've ever edited anything for anyone else, trying to edit someone else's vision. So basically, the last time I did it, I didn't do a good job, and it was so bad that he couldn't even fix it when I handed it back to him. And
Oh, wow.
he texted me, "Hey, are you done with the thing?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm done with it." He's like, "Okay, send me the file." He sent him a Premiere Pro file, and the subject for the email was, "I'm sorry."
So you knew it was bad before you.
I knew it was terrible, and the problem is that like when these people tell you like, "Hey, you have 2 weeks to do this," and it's been 2 weeks and a half, like, and you don't know what to do anymore for it to be better. Like you can do nothing but blame it on the cinematographer.
What's the best compliment you ever got?
The main thing that I keep in mind is this right here. I did a video for this woman a long time ago. It was May 21st of 2022. That's when the video came out. And then when she saw it for the first time, this is what she texted me.
Ay, tú me encantó muchísimo. Muchas gracias.
Crying.
Muchísimo, de verdad, quedó durísimo. Ay, lo siento, tú es que estoy llorando, que estoy súper emocionada. Y me gustaría mucho que mi madre lo hubiera visto, pero ya no está aquí. Pero muchas gracias.
So yeah,
Wow.
things like that.
That was emotional.
Yeah.
That's like every artist's dream to have that reaction from somebody. What's the best advice you have for somebody going into filmmaking?
So the best advice that I have is just get into it. Like shoot anything and put directed by XXX, and you're a director, to do that. And just try to get better by creating content and educating yourself.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
all you have to do.
But that last part gets me into the second part of the question. What is the best advice that you have got from somebody in the industry that has helped you?
Drop your ego, not only in filmmaking but in general. Just drop your ego.
Okay, that's good. That's good advice. I guess I'll take it for myself as well.